In this episode, I'm going to be joined by Rick Bellis of Ribble. Ribble are a PM, QS and soon-to-be building surveying consultancy focused in Manchester and the surrounding areas. In this episode, I think some of the things that I really want to hone in on is, first of all, Rick's energy. He's a year into business, and my God, he's like the Duracell bunny. He's so excited about what he's going to do. Currently 6 people, but looking to grow rapidly. He's got real high ambitions for the business. On top of that, we talk about building a network and your ability to win new business. I think Rick has got this massively dialed in, and I think you'll all get a lot out of this. So without further ado, on to this first session with Rick. Right, well, welcome to the pod, Rick. I'm joined here by Rick Bellis of Ribble, a relatively small startup cost consultancy and PM consultancy. Cost and PM?
PMQS, yeah.
PMQS, excellent.
Soon to be added as well, which I'll tell you about.
Amazing, in Manchester. So, Rick, to begin with, do you want to just talk us through the business, where it is at the moment, current headcount, where you target, maybe major sectors, etc.
Yeah, sure. Thanks for having me on, Paul. In terms of where we are, brand new business, seriously exciting. The buzz is real. When I'm kind of selling the business in the marketplace to new recruits potentially, I deem it the most exciting startup in the Northwest.
Excellent, good. You got to be ambitious.
I am ambitious, and it's where we are now. We've just finished year one.
Amazing.
It's to finish year one, name of the game survival. Got a really clear 10-12 year BP.
Okay.
But first year is pure survival. And when I committed to resigning my previous post in May last year, I just turned 40. Got the backing of my wife to do it. Yeah. So to fast forward to where we are now and actually survive year one, I finished that with a head count of 5, soon to be 6.
Brilliant.
So we'll have a 6th person. She joins September the 1st.
Amazing. So and what's that split? Is that between cost and PM?
It's pretty even. There's one out and out PM.
Right.
There's one out and out QS, and then there's 3 of us that do the PM QS dual
role.
The lady that joins us in September, she will offer a new service stream.
Right.
So that's building surveying.
Okay. Where is she?
She's currently head of building surveying for the Northwest of a large national consultancy.
Brilliant.
So we're going straight for it. And she's also got a dual skill set. So like me as a QSPM, she offers BSPM, but she has the NEC supervisor role. She's got specialist skill sets in rights of light, DLAP, condition survey. So it's a real different skill set that I think will actually help our clients and both current clients and potential target clients. So
I think it's going to be I do think, whilst I probably specialise more in cost and PM, we're probably going to start trying to do more in building surveying. I think it's just going to be a bit of a golden era for building surveying. When you look at what's going on, the direction around net zero, the fact that are we going to start to reuse buildings more rather than just demolish them and start again? I think it could be a real golden era for building surveying. So
I tend to agree. I think that then the skill set they've got of potential clerk of works, obviously that you can't use the clerk of work terms these days, but it's a very similar skill set in terms of the Building Safety Act and needing that support. So I think it could lead. The excitement's real.
Outside those words, building safety. That's my goodness. That's causing some pain in the
industry.
Today. We'll be sat crying.
So we're finishing with 6 staff, and this new survey stream was in year 3 of the BP.
Right.
But the opportunity is aligned with the person, the character that I've met a few times.
Yeah.
The opportunity that she brings. She's met the team. She'll fit in really well. It's good. As you know yourself, it's people. It's all about people.
Especially this size of business, especially your size of business, it's all about people.
Really important. So we're finished there. We've got a good split of people. The clients that the client support's been really good, and the number of doors have been opened and left ajar by launching. Yeah. People that you think will support you have done really well, but people that you've maybe put further down the list have actually opened the doors to come see us.
Good.
And it's gone from being a conversation to give me a bid for X project. It's really good.
But you've done that. I've been knowing you a long time. Right? You've done that from just being a good individual for years. At the end of the day, sometimes people think like business development is really hard. It's not. It's just doing a good job consistently, being a decent individual, putting yourself out there, getting to the various networking events. It's not as hard as people think it is. I think because people like working with people. So no doubt, if you've set up your own business, people who liked you in the past, got in with you in the past, will want to be there to support you. But also think, we trust Rick. We know he can do a good job. So why wouldn't we give him the work?
Yeah.
And this has been, I think actually this started actually about 2008, 2009. I think if you looked at the market then, it was probably there were probably a lot more larger consultancies owned the market. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then way back from the kind of spin-offs that came out of what was Davis Lang and became ACOM, and everyone span out of that. Some of those, two of those are my key clients in London, and they almost started a trend where a lot of clients turned around and went, okay, we don't necessarily always need a large consultancy to deliver it. And don't get me wrong, I think there's certain areas of the market where large consultancies absolutely dominate, and I think for the right reason, because they've got the critical mass and they've got some of the other structure that goes with it. But certainly I think more probably in the market that you concentrate more in, essentially the property real estate side of things. A lot of clients are realising now, hold on a minute, if we trust Rick, why wouldn't we go with him and give him the business?
It's people.
Yep.
Life, business, it's all about people. It's not saying it's easy, but it's, if you're not a dick.
It's complicated, isn't it?
You get to know who they are, and it's probably like dating a little bit. You're not going to meet somebody and get a £50 million job at half an hour coffee, but you build up a rapport, you build up a respect. And early in my career, people said, you don't make friends with your work colleagues, you don't make friends with your clients, but why not?
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that, and there's people that you'll spend time with your colleagues than I do. They spend more time than you do with your wife and your kids.
100%.
And it's obviously there'll be hard times when things change, and those professional friends you might have to make awkward choices about.
Yeah.
And pretty awkward conversations at times. But why not build these people up? And some of my best clients now have become pals, genuine pals. And yes, we have a clear divide of consultant client role, but people is the most important thing for me. It's really, really important.
100%.
Doing the basics of what you said you will do. Doing it, and you mentioned it, doing the basics well, doing it consistently, and it's in terms of the Ribble ethos, there's three key parts of that, and we're not different to anybody else. We provide PM and QS services that are governed by the RICS and all of our PI and our accreditations, but it's doing the basics well. Do all your deadlines, hit it every single time. Do you not be going 3:30 on a Friday, there's a WhatsApp call, I'll give you a Monday. Yeah. It's not good enough.
No,
turn up on time. I hate lateness. My dad drove it into me as a kid. Do not be late for anything. Turn up on time, presentable, good to go, and just do the basics of communication really, really well. Speak to your clients, get to know them. If you miss a call during a meeting, phone them back. Don't ever shy away from calls. Speak to people, get to know them. None of this emails and keyboards. It's get to know people. The three things there are really simple things in life, but they go a long way.
I think it's a thing that a lot of people are getting wrong now, where they're spending too much time doing everything over some form of messaging. That could be email, probably still predominantly, because people almost want to cover their own asses, so they put everything on email, or messaging, or whatever it may be. But just pick up the phone, or go and meet them for a coffee, because you get it resolved a lot quicker. I think, I can't remember the percentage, but it's something ridiculous, like 80% of communication is body language. And then secondly, it's voice and tone, and then lastly, the written word. And you can write something that you think is being really nice, credible, decent on email, and somebody reads that and they think you're having a personal attack on them. It's like, no, it's just been lost in translation.
100%.
So pick up the bloody phone.
It's important, and it's the basics of humans, isn't it? Talking to each other.
Yeah.
Get to know who you're talking to. Find out who the wife is, who the husband is, the partner, the wives, the kids.
What they do outside of work.
It's the base.
Yeah.
Sounds easy, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, some people definitely over bloody complicate it, because it is easy as the reality. It's I always say, like, a bit of a strap on I got for the business is like, human first, recruiter second. It's like, let me speak to you, let me understand you, let me understand what makes you tick first of all, what's important for you personally, what's going on in your personal life, what are the things that maybe you can't do from a career perspective because it doesn't work for you right now for where you are in your career, and what does work for you, what do you want? There's no point in me trying to sell somebody a dream of, maybe a really fast-paced, rapid growth career option if right now that's not something they've got the capacity to do. Maybe they need different things. It's just understanding the individual 100%. As much as anything else. So Rick, one of the questions I always ask in this podcast is, I think a lot of people are fascinated. How did you actually get into construction? Was there somebody in the family? How do you get into it? How do you decide to become a QS in the first place?
Pure chance.
All right.
None of my family at all are in the industry. I was, I'd gone back to being 16 to 18 at college. I was doing maths, economics, chemistry and biology, working part-time at McDonald's.
Okay.
That's probably one of the best jobs I've ever had in terms of dealing with people and learning. And
100%.
You work at McDonald's and people have a preconceived idea as to you work at McDonald's, you must be a little bit of a balloon. Dealing with people who speak to you like garbage at that age puts you in a really strong position later on, which you probably not appreciate at the time. As a 16 to 18-year-old kid, and you probably get a bit upset at times because people do speak to you and verbally give you stuff, times threatening with violence, all kinds of stuff that happens at a fast food restaurant. And fast forward to today, you still have these very domineering alpha characters, and you can read it a mile off, and you can handle situations a lot easier. And it's probably that happened 25 years ago. They kind of bring you into that. But I was then going to Leeds Uni to do sports science with performance textiles.
Okay.
Really niche course. Always been into sport.
Yeah.
The course was niche in terms of looking at aerodynamics of golf balls, swimmers' clothing, rugby balls, athletes' clothing, how you can get the extra 1,000th per second in a
And was it a Carnegie campus, the one outside of Headingley one rather than the Leeds Central one?
And back in the day, most people around my area could drink at 15, 16, 17.
Yeah.
I looked like about 10 years old at the time.
Yeah.
And I had to wait till 18. So I suppose where I'm going to in a limited detail is I, at 18, got me ID, went off the rails a little bit, enjoyed myself, played catch up for like 2 or 3 years, and I go to Leeds now for this niche course. So it will end up being quite a waste potentially.
Yeah.
Because I'm quite gritty, I'm quite determined, and I've always done well academically because I'm determined. I'm not particularly bright. I get there by graft. And I thought,
good.
That stage in life, I'll either drop out or I'll finish it with a third. And you've got to be creme de la creme in that course to get picked up by Nike or Adidas or Reebok.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, okay, scrape my grades, put it on hold for a year, all agreed. I thought, well, I'll look for a job. So as you do back in the day, every Thursday, get the job paper. Going through it, get the MEN job news section. You're highlighting things with your parents.
Different days, those.
Different days. And it's not as like quick fire on Google and getting it all up. It's purely on newspapers. You're highlighting things, and your parents are a little bit involved. And there's trainee car salesman. All kinds of stuff. I found this trainee QS, and it's all about money, all about finance, about looking after other people's money. I've always been very, I won't say money driven, but very appreciative of money. Very, very humble upbringing. Mum was a dinner lady, dad was a printer. So very, very kind of working class upbringing, and having that opportunity to manage other people's money was, I thought, I quite like that in a kind of property way. So applied for a few jobs. No word of a lie, 3 weeks later, I started at a little practice at 18 years old as a trainee QS, and they sent me day release to Salford, doing a trainee QS role. Didn't know what QS was 3 weeks prior, didn't know about property construction, so just fell into it.
Right. Who was the firm?
T. Sumner Smith, they were called.
Right. Did they become something else? Get absorbed? Or I've been in the game a long time, I don't remember them.
They were a tiny firm. We're based in a Parsonage Gardens in town.
Right.
And they had a one-man band over in Nottingham.
Right.
Whether they're still going, I don't know.
Right.
But it's that old school apprenticeship.
I
had 18 months there, no QSing. It was that old school 6, 7, 8 rounds of brews a day. Go and get the boss's newspaper at 4 o'clock, get the dry cleaning, the butty run, chauffeur him. I recall one time going, right, Rick, you come to the races. I'm excited. I'm going to the races. I'm like 18 years old. You've made it. Rick, you driving, drop us off here, pick us up at 5:30. That was the actual...
Oh, Jesus.
Is that old school?
Yeah.
To be fair, by 18 months later, I realised that I hadn't done any QSing, I hadn't done any training.
Right.
It was that very much apprenticeship. I was
very much kind of the office junior running around. Yeah.
That which you can't do now. So I looked for a job, spoke to a recruiter at the time who is now a contact. He works in BD for a contractor
Right.
do a bit of work with. So we're still in touch. And I got offered four jobs at the time. And then basically chose Edmund Shipway.
Right.
Spent 10 years there. But that's how I kind of fell into it. It was all by chance and getting that job paper, highlighting a few different areas. And before you know it,
that kind of sliding doors moment.
Yeah, 23 years later, I'm stuck in it, and I've opened my own firm, which is
amazing.
Beyond buzzing.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. No, that's really good. It's really just really interesting how people get into the industry, and sometimes you just need that opportunity. Coming back to something I'm a bit of a kind of on my soapbox about at the moment is just we need to have more apprenticeships in the industry, and we need to make it attractive enough for organisations, whether it be blue collar or white collar.
Yeah.
Because I think we're facing a kind of existential crisis in the industry now that if they do not sort it, I think they're saying in the next 5 or 10 years we'll lose a quarter of the. So I think we've got roughly 2 million people involved in construction across blue and white collar in the UK. They reckon 500,000 of that will be gone in the next 5 or 10 years.
Wow.
If you look at a lot of, you probably spend more time on site than I do, Rick, but apparently you look on a lot of sites and you've seen a lot of guys still working who are in the late 50s, 60s. Yeah. Bodies are absolutely ruined because it is blue-collar guys, I think, a lot of trades. But we've got a real issue. There's not enough coming through. There's not enough, QS apprenticeships. There's not enough. I think there are some great businesses out there that are flying the flag and doing a good job of bringing on apprentices more. But apart from anything else, it's just like the cost now of going to university is insane. Like when I went to university, I was about 8, 9 years older than you. When I went to university, it was all free, and it's not now. Kids are coming out with 40, 50 grand's worth of debt. And actually, I think you learn better. You find a lot of people who do the apprenticeship route as a QS just advance quicker because obviously, yes, they've got day release, but the other 4 days they are actually learning and developing, and they're coming out without a massive amount of debt.
Yeah, I mean, I was lucky, similar to you, that it was funded. It's paid for by the business at the time. But I recall my first year fee. I think it was 600 quid for the first year. And I remember the guys that the partner at the time wrote a cheque, and you go to Salford University and you hand it in. But one of the guys in the office the other day showed me his current loan. It's kind of above numbers that you tell me. I'm like, wow, that's it's mind-boggling. And come back to my kids, and now my eldest is 11, and go, he could be at uni in 7 years' time. Is it the way to go full-time these days? I don't know. There was always that. Years ago, university, you had to have a brain or be clever to go. You can do anything at university, but there's life skills I think are really important. But unless you're doing something that is potentially specific to where you want to go in life or your career, people are coming out with massive, massive debts, significant debts. And
you see, you hear. I don't think this is an uncommon thing now. Where you hear people have done a degree, they've got all this debt, and fair enough, they don't have to. They don't have to pay it back till they get to a certain amount of income, but it's still hanging over them constantly. And again, taking nothing away from how you started, and I 100% respect and agree with entirely what you said. My sister spent years working for McDonald's, and I think built up some really good, it's a really good training ground. And you see lots of people who've done that. I spent lots of time, similar story. I spent lots of time working in bars, and I think that ability to deal with different people, often drunk, sometimes angry. You just learn to manage people. But there's a lot of people who are doing degrees. Who were then later on the line then start working in McDonald's or working in a supermarket, and it's a bit sad to say that on top of that they've got the debt that goes with it. So you're absolutely right. There's almost too many degrees now, and some of them I worry that great, it's an interesting degree, but is it going to get you a job? And I just think certainly for, I guess without us going off on a tangent, but we return it back to construction. The industry's crying out for more people, and we've got to. The government has got to crack it and make incentivise more companies to take on more apprentices. Otherwise, we're heading to a real crisis point. I think they say, like, even in we won't get started about Brexit because that just annoys me. But but even let's say reversed all that. Apparently now, like even in Germany and other countries, they've got the same crisis. There's just a lack of people in the industry. So we probably couldn't even get a lot of people from different parts of Europe to come back now. So we've got to fix the problem in the UK.
I think it's nail on the head with it needs support from the government. It does, and for startups, we are looking into it, and you can get support, but for the here and now, I need to make sure that if we bring somebody in, we've got the right time to be able to give them the benefit and the training. And sometimes 100%. You look at your big companies that you mentioned earlier, your G&T and your ACOMs, they've got parts of their business that are geared up to do that.
100%, yeah.
There's times you think there's maybe go and have your apprenticeship at one of the bigger ones. But as we grow, the idea is to bring in somebody, a kind of apprentice day release sector. But I want to make sure if we do that, we have the right resource level to be able to teach and show and nurture people, because it's not a churn. It's people that if you bring them in, you want to keep them. You don't want people. You see it all the time that people come in, do 3-5 years, boom, they're gone. It's about building that people rapport, relationships, building that, and hoping that they can stay with you and see them grow. But yeah, for me, I need to make sure that I've got enough critical mass to be able to give them that benefit of our time.
No, and it's a very valid point, and I think this is something the government is not getting about the amount of management commitment time it takes and that cost, which I think the government almost seems to be ignoring the fact that that's a cost. It's a bloody massive cost. But I will, after the pod, Rick, I'll put you in touch with a small firm I know in the Northeast who've taken on some apprentices, and they've got a very positive story to tell. And one of their issues is, it comes back to what you said earlier about 6 people in your business, making sure you've got the right people. And what they found is they've gone and recruited some really bright 17, 18-year-olds. And they interviewed a lot of people. They interviewed loads at that age. And they said the ones they've got are just brilliant in terms of they've just got the right attitude. They want to be in the office every day. They're committed. They're doing more than maybe they're seeing other ones who are maybe 24, 25. They're just like they really want it, and they're ambitious. So I think some of it is like anything, as I would say as a recruitment consultant, is you've just got to find the right people. And if you find the right people, then sometimes it can potentially work more.
Yeah, I do agree with that. It sounds I sound like Roy Keane. It's character with personality, and that is for me a better skill set than having straight A's.
100%.
It's really important. Being able to talk to people in a situation like this, or in a bar, or for a coffee, it's really important.
Oh, look, without a doubt, and encourage. You have to, and we're at different times now, which is good. But I'm sure if you took any young person on, you'd encourage them and get them out to networking events and get them just comfortable speaking to people, and maybe even don't recruit anybody who you don't think. And I appreciate that may sound a bit harsh, but I think for a small business, you've got to think about the business as well as just the individual, and say, look, I've got to see this individual work, and they've got to, not be hard work all the time, because if hard work every day, it really drains on a small business, because you've only got so much time in the day. So that probably brings us good kind of segue onto, so you're 6 people now. You said you've got a really solid 10-year business plan. Do you want to just talk us through what the business plan is, what you think the growth will be year on year?
Yeah, plan in, we kind of say in half jest, but I'm pretty aggressive, or I'm ambitious with where I want to go. And
6 people already is brilliant.
It's to the moon.
Good.
That is the genuine plan. I genuinely believe that where we are now, these first 3 years are really crucial to making sure that we set the foundations of it all.
Yep.
So for me, getting to probably 10 or 12 people by the end of year 3.
Right.
If it comes quicker, fine.
Yeah.
But it's getting the clients that we've got, making sure that the first rule of BD is nail what you've got.
100%. Yeah.
Nail everything. Doing the basics really well, consistently. The hardest thing in business is to bring in a brand new client.
100%. Yeah.
So nail that. Get the first probably 10 or 12 people are our first 6. They're all chartered. They're all of a experience that you can trust them with clients, and the clients that we've got as a starting point. There's some significant blue chip clients in there that I sell a business on the website and in the round that it's senior people on every job, and I abide by that and live by that. And you don't come in a big cell of the owner and then you put a graduate on it. It's about the people that are senior, experience can do it. So the first 10 or 12, back to that point, is they should all be a senior level person, at least chartered.
Yes. Yeah.
I think age within what we do in the industry, it's not like you work in IT and you at 23, 24, you pass your sell-by date, or you've got a repetitive job where you've done it for 2 weeks, you can do it on repeat. We've got live jobs that might go on for 5 years, 6 years. Yeah. So as a professional, it takes you that level of time to get that experience and exposure. We've seen the intricacies of contract and finance and funding and different third-party stakeholder, and it can take a long time to get to a position of experience and confidence.
Yes, yeah.
The plan is to get that first critical mass of 10 or 12 people. At that point, I genuinely believe it's at the right time. I want to bring somebody else into the business to help push that, because I think a one-man band or a one-man owner, we can get it to a certain size. To retain the quality and keep pushing with organic growth, I think I need somebody alongside me. So getting the right person to be, whether that's within the current crop of people or external, to get to your next. I think once you go past 12 people, staff, employees, you can lose quality, and quality is really important. Really, really important to make sure you're doing those basics really, really well.
But you can also do. You can also get caught as the owner and leader of the business doing the wrong things as well. Because if you get too much constantly in the weeds and kind of don't release control, then you can get stuck doing things that actually are not actually that productive for the business. Because, fundamentally what you've got to be in charge of is continuing with the kind of leadership, the vision, the direction of the business, growing the business. You're absolutely right. Getting out there, you're absolutely right about your point earlier. It's much easier to develop existing clients and get more income out of them than constantly find new clients. However, for the business to grow and keep on growing, you do have to find new clients. And ultimately, if you get too stuck just you're spending too much time delivering because you don't trust people in the business, and you see this with a lot of small firm business owners, they get stuck and they almost kind of, there's this classic thing that they get stuck at kind of 10 people and don't go beyond it. There's someone once said this to me, I thought, this is absolutely brilliant. And when I thought about it, it's like, it makes such sense, is that it's going up in threes. Every time you go up in threes, everything, systems, process have to break and change and go with it. So from one person to 3 people, something has changed. Because when you're on your own, you can just do it all on your own. It's easy. When you go from 3 to 10, again, things change. You have to start looking at structure. Certainly when you go from 10 to 30, then of course you've got to have a management layer below you. Yeah. Because otherwise, because you can't do everything. And to the point that if you do everything, you're probably failing the business because you're doing too much and you can't do everything. So you end up doing everything badly.
I think I take on board your comments there that it's also learning. That you don't have this encyclopedia of knowledge. We're all 100%. Learning on the job at times. We all have these moments of imposter syndrome. We think, am I really doing this? And I've got to a really good point in this first year, and it's gone quicker than I thought, where every live project and client has got somebody else in the business on it.
Right, good.
So I'm visible and available to all clients all the time currently.
Yes.
But every job has got somebody else on it. So away tomorrow, a couple of days next week, I feel, don't let loose completely, but I feel in a position that I can trust the guys to crack on and to do it. And it's having that is will help the next phase, next couple of years.
Brilliant, to be honest. If you've got that already in year one, Rick, that's amazing. That and like many small business owners like me, I can never switch off, and you will, because it's I think one thing small business owners have to realise is it's your baby, it's not necessarily their baby, and there's a realisation that comes with that. Yeah. But equally, if you get the right people who almost see it like their baby as well, no one will ever see it as important as you. But if you've got people you can trust already within a year, I'd say hat off to you, mate. That's brilliant.
The current team is all from that the inner circle of trust. People that I've worked with before, people that I know and respect. Back, I'd like to think. People that, one of the guys at day one took a leap of faith in me.
Brilliant.
whichever way you look at it, plied him with too many San Miguels in the pub. I presented my BP to him in the pub and told him the journey and the excitement of what it was, and he was fully on board.
Amazing.
At day one, he joined. And then from there, there's other people that have all been, I've worked in different facets of my career. I've got a list of maybe 20 people that I will talk to at different points. I might need somebody else before the year's out. Yeah. So if you do know any good recruiters, do let me know.
No, I need. They're all rubbish. They're all idiots.
But it's people I really like. I know that who they are. Yeah. I trust them. I think there's an element of trust back. I know there's maybe 10 of those people might get back and go, no, not for me, or they work in the big PLC world and they're happy in that comfortable bubble. But if you want 10 years of excitement and fun and a bit of a buzz and your own autonomy, it's the excitement is real, the journey is real. It's I'm energized.
You seem animated. It's good, exciting. Yeah. And I'd kind of put a pin in something you said earlier. I thought I'd come back to it now. So this head of building surveying you're going to bring on. Yep. So you said she's come from a big national practice. What would you say has kind of enticed her to come to Ribble at this point in the journey? Ribble, sorry, I'm going to get this right. Ribble, apologies.
I think me is a starting point.
Good,
you've got to back yourself.
100%,
You have to back yourself. The business is my business, and when I'm talking to people about possible recruitment, it's you're selling yourself. You're selling your own journey and what it is, and the excitement that I think she gets is my excitement and where she can help to take it, and obviously the ultimate plan is to grow that service and she can make it her own ultimately. I say she's got the dual skill set, so she can do some of the basic PM work, but she can help grow that and make it run and bring in her own people. So we're a new business. It's everything.
But you are coming across as obviously I've known you a long time, but you are coming across as being infectious and probably probably the most excited I've ever seen you, which is good because you've got to have that. There's too many businesses that people go in and it's just like, Jesus, it's like Groundhog Day here. So you've got to have hunger. Certainly the owner of the business or the owners of the business, they've got to have some hunger to grow the business, and that becomes infectious because the worst thing you can do, and I often say about small businesses, a lot of people may leave a large corporate organisation and go to a small business, and rightly so. I get the inherent logic or motivation as to why they think they should go to a small business. But ultimately, there are lots of small businesses that are 10 people. They've been 10 people for the last 3 years. They're going to be 10 people in the next 3 years. They're hiring this person because they've lost somebody, not out of growth. Mm-hmm. And that's sometimes the worst place to be if you're in a small business that just isn't growing. Whereas obviously, clearly, you've got different plans for the business at the end of the day in terms of that growth, which is good.
Yeah, I think bringing this lady in, it's you can be half glass half empty scenario. Can we really afford it? Is it the right thing? But I don't know, without going too deep. This last few years, it's all about I've turned statistically middle age, kind of hitting your 40 mark.
Yeah.
You're here for a short time, so let's do it. Let's drive. Let's go for it. Genuinely, let's. By the time you're in your probably mid-50s, you don't know what kind of physical state your body's going to be in.
You absolutely don't.
It's hard. Let's have fun. Let's enjoy it. Let's work seriously hard, and it's. I don't say going back to that. You're here for. You only live once, but we can make it happen together. And for me, I know that she is on board with it, and I've got something with him that I'll graft. I've got a bit of grit. I've got a bit of passion to make it happen.
Good.
But it's taken me way too long to get to the position of launch my own business. It's taken me 10 years to get there.
Yeah. I think there's pros and cons of that, and as to what you need to. But it's got to be the right time for you, fundamentally. Yeah. At the end of the day, and if now it is, then you just get on with it, don't you? And and get growing the business. So do you have? You said it's a 10-year plan. Have you got a vision as to what that headcount will look like in 10 years, or are you just going to see where it goes year on year?
I think year on year. I don't want to put a number on the TO or headcount. I think the bottom line is really important about being efficient and profitability.
Absolutely. A lot of businesses don't get that right, and you've got
top numbers now. sound vain, but it's the right time. It's potentially getting up to 50, 60.
Right. Good.
Potentially. I mean, be real, probably slightly more than that, but it depends how it goes. The geography will come into it. Toying with the idea of potentially different locations, but whether you need that these days, I'm not convinced on whether you need to have different offices, unless it is like Liverpool's we're 25 miles away, but you do at times need that Merseyside postcode. But yeah, at the right time.
Forget the Northwest though. It's like, you know, if you want to crack Yorkshire or crack the Midlands or crack London, there could be an argument. I guess I would argue you're absolutely right. Maybe with technology and everything, maybe and one thing, you know, again, a good bit of advice I've always given is don't just keep on building offices, because every time you build an office, you've got additional cost that comes with it.
Yeah.
You've got management strain on the fact that you've got to manage another office, etc. But I would say, arguably, it's finding the right individual. So if the right individual comes across who happens to be in Leeds or Edinburgh or Birmingham, wherever it may be, and you think, you know what, they get it. I can work with this individual. I get them. I get their culture. Or they get my culture, rather, of the business. And we can work together. We can build something together. And I can give them maybe, I don't know, some degree of ownership or profit share of either the whole business or the individual office. Then that might be a great way to grow things out, because the danger is, even though the Northwest is a massive, massive market, and certainly without doubt the biggest market outside of London, you know, still there might be you might hit a natural barrier as to growth without maybe then looking at an additional office or location maybe.
I think you spot on to it. It's people, and if I find the right person, which is why with this lady coming in, it's ahead of where, not ahead of where I want to be, it's ahead of the plan. But if I find the right person at the right time, or ahead of the time, I'll do what I can to make sure that I bring that person in. That's talking to somebody recently who it would be a perfect fit. Trying to get it'd be well ahead of where we should be, but that person would fit perfectly.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's people, it's timing. So see where we get to.
Yeah, absolutely. And at the moment, what are your core sectors? What are the core sectors that you operate in?
Mainly private sector commercial.
Yeah.
So we've got a mix of doing F&B leisure. So we've got some work with Freight Island.
Right.
Freight Island about Manchester. We're taking 2 new freights, one to Newcastle, one to Leeds.
Right.
We're doing a hotel at Manchester Airport for MAG. We've got 2 town centre schemes, one for Muse, one for Hyndburn Council. So doing Accrington and Prestwich for Muse. We've got some sheds in Warrington. We have a church conversion to Resi in Slough or Slaithwaite, depending where you're from. And we've just got a brand new. So one of the 2025 drivers was to take on certain staff, but to get one brand new client.
Okay. And
this one brand new client is really excites me. It's a young developer who's buddied up with a more mature investor, and we're doing a 20-story Manchester city centre resi development with.
Okay.
So I suppose to answer your question, kind of backtracking a little bit of resi, bit of hotel, F&B, leisure, sheds, town centre regen, which has got a commercial within an office for Assura in Altrincham. So
it's all very much private sector.
Very private sector.
Yeah.
A lot of the wheel there, apart from nuclear and rail, I'd say, and then there's the only private public sector is the council at Hyndburn.
Right.
Nothing health, nothing education. I did bid for a kind of half quasi education scheme the other week, which is a college building in North Wales. Probably the first thing in the first 12 months that I've not won, or that I've lost out on. But then you actually get a bit of feedback on the fee, and I'm not cheap.
Right.
I back myself, I back who we are, I back the service again. The actual feedback on some of the fee level was a bit eye-opening. Like, race to the bottom territory stuff. So,
coming back to your earlier point, what we've kind of touched on is you've got to be profitable. So it's like just the worst place, and I think where a lot of consultancies get this wrong, is they just try and grow turnover and when they're in a race to grow turnover, by that point they're taking on jobs that maybe we shouldn't really be doing this at this price, but it's an extra, bloody hell, that might be an extra £1 million worth of fee over the next 2-3 years. We'll have that. But what is very true is that staff costs are not going down. They're only going to keep on going up. Everything else that you need to do your job, and we'll come on to what your kind of tech stack and stuff is in a sec, Rick. But everything just goes up. Cost, it's unbelievable, isn't it, how much costs go up when you're running a business. Every time you add another member of staff, some people think naively, well, it's this amount of cost for this individual. Well, no, it's not. It's all the additional software licenses, etc., all the other bits you need to add on to it.
Yeah, whole packages, the life insurance, health insurance, pension, the phones, the external IT support helping, just everything that goes with it. PI goes up. Everything. It's I can't and I won't do jobs just for the sake of keeping a bum on a seat, in terms of I've seen it historically where it becomes a burden. And how can you prioritise a really good client who's paying expected fees versus something? You got to prioritise the points, and it becomes a burden. So no, I won't compete with that. And luckily, the work we've got, it's a real diverse mix in mainly private sector, but 80% of that work is negotiated. We've won these two new clients this year. One was through a bid. This Resi guy is through word of mouth. Right. So it's back to the point. It's people. It's back to people and people not thinking that you're a balloon. They trust you with who you are, what they're about. You align your values, and it's really people. It's all about people.
Absolutely. And in your world, it's not only the end clients, is it? It's having great relationships with the architects, having great relationships with the engineers, maybe having good relationships with the contractors. Having that, building that overall network, I think is really valuable.
It is 100%.
So you've been going a year. Appreciate only a year, but would you say there are any mistakes you've made? Would you say there's anything you've learned, maybe you've changed your view on over the course of the year in terms of running a business?
I make mistakes every day.
Yeah.
If anyone tells you they've been in business for a year and haven't made a mistake, then they were...
And hey, anybody who tells they've been in business 20 years and not made a mistake are lying.
Of course. I mean, I've been very fortunate. Before launch, I spoke to a few people. Back to your point about support consultants. Yeah. A couple of people, one worked in an MEP firm, one worked in an architect, that have been a bit like mentors. They're kind of like removed mentors, but not in terms of your delivery as a professional technical person, but in terms of that business sense and second opinion on things around maybe PI or the market or your clients trying to push a certain appointment narrative onto you. Just getting a bit of support in that regard. In terms of mistakes, I think becoming a bit colder as a person at times. Maybe being... probably two parts, with being too nice at times and letting things slide, whether that's not getting paid on time, because back to the point, cash flow is I really that's the biggest thing I've learned this year. That's the biggest eye opener, is getting paid on time every time. When clients are giving you support, that shouldn't be just, here's a project, go and do it. It's that support doesn't end until you're paid on time every time, and it's we know we work in the most bizarre industry in that regard. A couple of pals I've got do their own thing, not in property construction, and they find it alien that you don't get paid in time. Yeah, it's they can't get their head around it. Yeah. So it's getting paid, and I think another part of it is not taking things to heart or personal, and becoming colder and learning that business is business, and people will try it on at times. People will come at you or you a bit blunt, and not taking that as Rick Bellis, taking it as a business viewpoint, seeing it sometimes as a weird threat, which I'd say we are at times, and just learning some different skill sets that make you better at business. Not a technical person, not people pleaser with a cocktail in hand.
Yeah.
It's about being at times a bit cold and chasing the money, making sure that you got it in your account.
You've got to be paid. You've got to be paid. I'd say for all businesses of any size, even your size, Rick, is you've got to start getting to the point where you get monthly P&L, whether that's through an account or otherwise, so you know exactly where you are, and you've got to be on top of your debtor book all the time. You've got to know where you are. You can't be, letting some of your clients just go on and on before they pay you, because that's the death of any business, but particularly the death of a small business. You've got to be really careful. And I always say, just keep cash in the bank. You've got to, certainly. There's a danger, I think, where some small business owners get it wrong, is the first year or two they start to be successful. They've had a good year. They've suddenly got an extra 200 or 300 grand in the bank on top of what they need, and suddenly they go and splav, I'm going to go buy a Porsche. It's like, well, that's stupid. It's absolutely stupid.
That's not me.
Keep cash in the bank.
Yeah, that's trying to build up a little buffer as you do. I mean, 12 months in, it's a very small buffer. But
yeah.
Trying to be, I'm a pretty simple bloke, so hopefully I can start to build that up and get to a point where again you kind of bank a little bit and you go, right, that's your rainy day fund.
Absolutely.
But yeah, they're probably two things. And probably another one is probably more not the business, but in your career about loyalty at times. And people, I know my team now, they employ guys, they employ people that are better than you. Most of my team are better than me technically, without a shadow of a doubt. I bring a skill set; it's different to them.
Agreed. Yeah.
But I know that in a year or 10 years, they will, parts of them will leave, and I've been naive to think otherwise. Obviously, you don't want them to at all. There's a really good core people that we work together, but not getting hung up or not thinking you have to be loyal to businesses, I suppose is the point. Now, this is not me now as Ribble. This is previously in life where you get made to feel crap for look after number one, for pursuing new challenges, for pursuing new goals. And
sometimes things just change in life, don't they? You might, one of your staff members who you think are brilliant and super loyal may just say, "Oh, Rick, I'm sorry, I've got this, itch to scratch. I want to go live in Australia."
Yeah.
But he go do it. And I think I heard something a while ago about this concept of kind of a tour of duty. It's like, you might do a tour of duty. You might do 3 or 4 years with one company, go away because you need a bigger challenge, or let's say, I don't know what it may be, they want to work on in a different sector or a different project or whatever it may be. But then they may come back to you in another 3 or 4 years. And I think careers will be more fluid. I don't think we're going to get lifers as much in companies anymore. And there may be an argument, maybe that's not even healthy to an extent.
I think moving every 3 to 5 years can be good. It's you see different. I've worked at your big corps, I've worked at your tiny practice, and you see how different people deal with business, different people deal with situations, different people's ethos and values and outlooks, and it's learning. It's getting more rounded skills. If you want to go and work in your Dubai's or your Australians, so I think that's not the business right now, but that is loyalty. At times people get forced into it. Give you another couple of grand and keep you. It's money's fickle. It's not necessarily the drive for people. It's bigger than that.
But also another thing I think a lot of small business owners make the mistake of is this kind of with anything, whether it be people or investments in terms of software, whatever it may be, is the have you heard of like the sunk cost fallacy? And a lot of people do is like, right, I've invested a lot of time and money into this individual, and it might just the individual is just no longer right. You've either, as much as an individual can outgrow a business, vice versa, a business can outgrow an individual, or they just, they may have been there a year and now maybe some cracks are showing, maybe they're not the right individual. Sometimes you've got to have just an honest sit down with people and go, look, this isn't working. You've got to always look after people, but you've equally always got to concentrate on making sure you've got to make decisions that are right for the business. I think is really important. Rick, we're starting to run out of time slightly, so one of the questions I always ask is just where you are in terms of technology, because we're in a rapidly changing world at the moment. So, if you may be, I'm not sure I like this cringy term or not, but what is your kind of tech stack at the moment? What are you guys using day to day? Is it still fairly simple?
We're dead simple. Right here, right now, we've just even down to getting our basic templates and documents set up. That's about 80% there. Our tech stack, we use 365 Business. We use all the basic MS products,
which is a massively big product in it. So it does a lot, doesn't it, basically?
It does. It is good. We're trialing a few things around AI meeting bots.
Yeah.
I think there's a couple of those that for Teams meetings, they actually work really well. So if you send your AI bot into it, they can do all your minutes for you. And if it's on Teams, they know that Paul's on that tile speaking, or Rick's on this tile speaking, so it picks up the actions. If you're in person, there's 10 or 12 hours around the table, you have to be quite specific. Right, Paul, output for you is bum, bum, bum. And it picks it up, but if not, it doesn't know everyone's voices, so it's not sure who to assign.
Yeah. There are some really good ones out there.
There are some good ones.
Everyone's raving out one called Firefly at the moment, which is really good.
Yeah, we quite like Circle Back, and then there's I'm doing a course in November, like a mini MBA. It's AI for directors.
Oh, cool.
So that's, for me, AI is here.
It is.
It's going to change, or is already changing our lives. I'm middle-aged man. I use ChatGPT just for crap.
Yeah.
I need to get it. For me, there's two parts of this. Is one, we need to get AI in my business to automate all the kind of repetitive tasks and monotonous stuff that allows us as professionals the thinking time to challenge the design team, to challenge the client, to make sure they're doing our job correctly. I think the second part is it could drive laziness. People using AI in the wrong way to hit a deadline.
Yep.
And getting mediocre stuff churned out.
Absolutely.
And then you look at the next part and go, well, these Gen Zs, Alphas, whatever they are, sound very middle-aged, don't I?
We're old. I'm definitely old.
Is people relying on it too much? And then, so let's take a stage 2 cost plan that we might have to do. And you can drop all the AIs into your BIM models and it churns you out a cost plan. But it's only picking up the data that's in there. Yeah. It's the white bits on the drawing that haven't been designed yet that we, by experience, know.
Yes.
That's not been drawn yet. We know what that should be. Or does a 23-year-old grad who's churning out, well, it looks fantastic, I've done it all in 5 minutes. But what about your mate who supports it? You know it's going to be hundreds of thousands of pounds in this 2-brick reveal wall. It's not drawn, it's not designed, but it's applying experience and knowledge, harmonising bots and humans is... It's going to be interesting. Yeah, it's going to be really interesting. So I'm trying to embrace the challenge, getting on board with this course in November. It's a 3-day course, but my key driver is to try and automate some of the more monotonous, repetitive tasks initially. Yeah,
and that makes perfect sense. I don't think it's going to be able to churn out an accurate kind of cost plan just yet, is it? And like you say, without at least you having the expert view over it. But equally, this is not going away. And in 3 or 4 years, it might be able to churn out a really decent cost plan that's totally accurate. Yeah. So you've absolutely got to embrace it and just see it as an enabler. And certainly, like you say, reducing the need for some of the monotonous tasks that maybe if it's just a process, right? I've done this, right? That definitely then needs to be emailed to this, and this. It needs to go on our whatever database using to kind of track what's going on. It needs to go on there. Bits like that otherwise it's just somebody else, or it's just a human having to click and move and drag, and some of that can definitely be automated if you do it intelligently. But for sure, it's going to be a lot of change coming down the line.
Just got to embrace it. Got to jump on and be part of it. It's you got to see it's excitement. Some people hate the word change, and I think you've got to get on board with that really pretty quickly.
Yeah, 100%. Right, so last question I always ask is, in your career, who would you say was your kind of best boss, and why?
Do you want a name on this?
You can do. I'm happy to. If you're happy to say the name, I'm happy to say that. I'm happy to hear it.
There's one boss that I wouldn't have.
Right.
That's my very, very first boss, and I learned at a young age that last day, just turned 19, that you go around shaking hands. You wouldn't shake my hand. This is a 60-odd-year-old bloke at the time.
Right.
And that's 23 years later. Never left me that. I think I run a grassroots football team at weekend, and I don't care what's going on for that 70 minutes of a game. Yeah. You're 11, 12 years old. You get up and you shake hands at the end.
100%.
And it's anything in life. You have... I had an altercation with a bloke on a golf course. If you reach no genuine altercation, and at the end, it's like, right, okay, we'll bet our piece. It's going nowhere. And shake hands, and you walk away. And I've seen him since, and we've had a conversation. It's really important. Basic manners. So that's someone I wouldn't respect. There's probably two people that have really influenced. There's a guy called Kevin Theobald at DBK RPS.
Right.
Technically, his drive, his output, his relentless push of quality was really hit home with me.
Good.
And then there's a couple of previous bosses that were the softer skills, the more tactile, the kind of, they could read when you're going through times where you just got married or you're having fertility issues or whatever it may be, and they were very attentive, very aware of your kind of softer skills. And one of those was Neil Files from AA Projects at the time.
Right.
Didn't do any output in terms of me and him together, but in terms of the softer side, he's always there to, would sit in the office till whatever time at night, or he'd always be available for a call. And just the softer skills were really, never forget, he's that outside of how he was.
Yeah.
So yeah, probably two people are very different. One's technical and the drive was relentless, and the other one was soft skills. But I think every boss, I'd like to think I've taken parts of each one in a different way, and discarded the bits that I don't respect perhaps as much.
And also through your career, you need different bosses, different mentors to take you on different journeys at the end of the day. Like, again, probably had something I would recommend a lot of small businesses to do probably sooner than you think you need it is get an NED, someone who's been there and has done it and has grown something different and can just challenge you. We've got one now. Shout out Andy Thorpe, you're a legend, and he's good at just kind of prodding me and pushing me and asking me questions and just keeping me honest about things that otherwise I might not do myself. So there's value in that as well, because whilst you were going through that journey, Rick, they were all roles where you were employed. You're now the owner of your business. It's like, where's your continued learning? So again, hat off to you, that kind of 3-day course you're going to go on. A lot of owners concentrate on, well, some do, some don't, but concentrate on what they're doing for their staff in terms of their development. But you've always constantly got to look at your development and say, right, okay, who's going to support me? Coming back to your point, it's like, fuck, I don't know. I'm like, I'm only a year into business. I don't know all the answers. Maybe if I speak to somebody who's made a few of those mistakes or has maybe worked with quite a number of businesses and seen them grow, and they've seen some of the mistakes they've made, and it's like, right, well, they're not, a good NED is not there to run your business, but they are there to try and at least guide you, support you, maybe help or influence you and avoid you from making certain mistakes. Doesn't mean to say that you have to absolutely listen to them, because it's your business. You can still decide, well, thanks, take on board, and I really appreciate you giving me some advice there, but I'm still going to do this. But at least you've got somebody there to at least act as a kind of counterbalance.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think there's a couple of people mentioned that to me recently, and at the right time I might look into that. I think one thing that I don't, as much as I am very ambitious and I want to grow the business to a point, really it's there, it's in your mind all the time. I don't want to ever lose my technical side of knowledge. The previous bosses that would sit in meetings and they just lost that side of the technical, and they're knowing the rates and the market intel, and yes, very good at being out with a drink in hand and the kind of BD and the personal side, but never want to be in a meeting and not know my basics.
Well, the other thing, again, I learned this mistake. My previous business, I not necessarily learned the mistake. I maybe did it the wrong way. I'd grown my previous business, Jigsaw, to kind of 40-odd heads, and I moved away from delivering recruitment day to day. And so whilst I don't think I necessarily forgot how to do recruitment, I certainly wasn't doing it day to day. I wasn't maybe keeping track of, different dynamics in the market, different frustrations people have. I wasn't speaking to people day to day. And I realised that. And now, I think with Pegasus, very different. Certainly shout out to Hayley, who you met today. She looks after everything that is not recruitment, and probably good, because I'm definitely rubbish at admin. So it's like, I can concentrate on just a bit there, and I will probably continue to layer my business so that I'm still a fee earner, still continue to be a fee earner, and probably bolt on additional people around me as the business grows. So that actually, yes, I'll do some leadership and management stuff that I have to do as a business owner, but on top of that, just keep me still at the coalface, so I understand what's going on in the market.
I think it's really important.
Yeah. I mean, look, depends what size your business gets to. You might get to a point where that becomes unattainable. But again, that's a choice in itself, isn't it? It's like, but one thing I would say about for all business owners, you've got to enjoy it. If it starts to get to the point where you don't enjoy it day to day, then you've got to change something. And that could even be going backwards, not forwards, in terms of size of business, etc. You've got to, you're like, it's been evident from our chat today, Rick, your level of enthusiasm is massive.
Yeah.
You've got to keep that, haven't you? Because that's what you've got to keep that people, because you're going to attract more people to you with that level of enthusiasm. Yeah. If you get to a point where it's like, fuck, I don't want to go in today, then it's that's not good, is it?
But then you're right, you're at the top, and it rubs off from people. And if I don't care, why should they care?
Yeah.
It's setting the tone. I've spent a lot of time this last year. I've got the Ribble rules, and it's well, it's not you have to live your life by it, but it's setting the tone for new people. It's setting what I expect as a business we do, and it's really important.
100%.
All the guys have it, and it's setting that tone. Everyone new that comes in, this is what we do. This is as a collective, as a pack. This is what we do.
100%. And again, you've got to do that. Everyone should be an individual, but there's got to be guardrails.
Yeah.
And it's your business. It's your name above the door, so to speak. In an old pub term, it's still your name above the door with all this. So it's got to be right.
Yep.
Rick, thanks for your time. It's been amazing. Absolute pleasure. Look, I hope the business continues to grow, and probably have you on maybe in 2 years' time. We'll see where you've got to. See where you got to with the growth.
Yeah, really enjoyed it.
No, thank you. It's been good.
Cheers.
Excellent.